Good morning, everyone. I'm starting my video halfway through my drive today. I had to come drop my mom and nephew to my aunt's house. My other aunt. And I'm gonna have to come pick him up after I get off work. So that's nice for them to get out, you know. It's nice for them to go get out and not be cooped up inside all day. So this is 9th Street, which is where you can get, I don't know how to say it, where you can get some booty for the right price. There's the Brave Pool. Yeah, this is a bad area. The bad side, well, I don't know. I guess any side can be bad. Any area of Vanessa can be bad with depending on who's there. But yeah, this area is a little notorious for being a little shady and renting rooms by the hour, if you know what I mean. This is actually a beautiful bridge. They built this bridge not too long, a couple of years ago. The 9th Street Bridge. It's really beautiful. I like the structure of it, the symmetry. I don't know. I really like it. And then those birds. Oh, they're geese. Wow. Yeah, the Tuolumne River is below us, but it's actually a very small river, so it dries up. And you know, California has been in a drought for almost 5 years now. I don't know. It's not like it's raining like back in 98 or 97 when Modesto literally flooded and became the Lake of Modesto instead of the city of Modesto. That was a little crazy. I mean, the Tuolumne River completely flooded. All of this area was flooded. It was crazy bad. I was an 8th grader. And I remember my math teacher, would put up like the Modesto Bee front pages on his wall, which would have like disaster written all over him. You know, rain stop, but problems flow on. I can't believe I still remember some of those headlines. But yeah, it was pretty scary because every street in Modesto was almost flooded. And I lived on Carver Road back then, and Carver Road is notorious for getting flooded. I mean, if it rains just a little bit, you know that Carver Road is going to get flooded. So it was a very wet time back in 97 and 98. Anyway, I'm headed off to work today. I feel a little bit more peaceful and less worried. These last couple of days have been just a lot of anxiety, and because you know, we got 2 new family members, my baby dragons, baby bearded dragons, and after giving him a shower 2 days ago, I noticed that one of them had like the hiccups, and I think I uploaded a video of this already. Long story short, I called and I looked it up, and they were like, well, it could be that he's showing aggression towards the other bearded dragon, because again, when I went to the store, and I really appreciate this is a family-owned pet store. They have stores in Manteca, they have stores in Stockton, they have stores in Modesto. They just opened one in Modesto. I'm really happy with them, and you know, the customer service is great, and I think he's a brother of the owner of Carter. It's called Carter's Pet Mart. He's really nice, and you know, he doesn't try to push things on you or oversell you things. But when I bought them for the first time, I was like, hey, should I get 2 or should I get 1? And that's where the problem came, because I think you should have said, oh, these are territorial creatures. you're going to be the companion that they need, so just get one. And instead, I was told, oh, well, they love, yeah, you can totally get two, everybody loves a companion, even as humans. So there I go, getting two, and then 2 weeks later, they're like fighting each other. Well, one of them was the aggressor. And so I was just like, okay. And then they're in a 20-gallon tank. And then I called the store because I have a vet appointment on Saturday to take my bearded dragon to its first vet appointment, wellness check or whatever. And I called the store, and they transferred me to someone named Jonathan who works at the Stockton store. And he kind of was like, don't worry. He's like, it's not sick or choking and then I had already, because thankfully we have Google now, I had figured out that bearded dragons cannot get hiccups. They don't have the same anatomy as humans, so it's impossible for them to get hiccups. So he was like, that little twitching could be him trying to show his aggressiveness towards the other bearded dragon. He's like, it's nothing it's been seen before that they do that. And so I was like, okay, look, I don't think I can go out right now. I mean, I could have gone out, bought another terrarium, put them in separate terrariums, and then they'll, but it's like they're gonna get big, and then I'm gonna have to buy 40-gallon and then 75-gallon terrariums, and to get two 75-gallon terrariums and have enough crickets every day or mealworms to feed two growing humongous, and they get big. So I was just like, it's too much work. I wish I would have done my research before I just took Caleb over to the pet store to get what he wanted. And so I was like, can I bring one back? And they said I could bring it back, but they told me that they had a 48-hour return policy. And I was like, I don't want money back. As long as you guys will take it back and not kill it or put it down, but take care of it, or maybe quarantine him for a little bit so that he's okay, and then sell him, So they did that, and it was very sad because Caleb, my nephew, had grown really attached to the one that we were going to have to return, and well, it was a difficult decision to make if I should keep the aggressor or if I should keep the aggressee, I guess you can say. So we decided I'd rather have a chill pet, so we decided to let go of the aggressor, which was Thoothless. And, because my nephew named him, and, he was all about Thoothless this and Thoothless that, so we took him. And he was crying the whole time, and I felt so bad for him. But the story that I had to tell him, and this is for his own good, because at 6 years old he really doesn't understand the concept. So to make it easier for him, I said, Thoothless is a little sad because he misses his brothers and sisters, because when we bought them there was like 4 or 5 bearded dragons there. So I said, we're going to return him just so he can go ahead and visit with his brothers and sisters, and when he gets all better, we'll get a call. They're going to call us when he gets better and he's happy again and he's not depressed, and then we might be able to go pick him up. So that's the story that I told my 6-year-old, and he was like kind of okay with that story. But 6-year-olds are not they're 6 years old, so they do get it. So now this morning he was like, do you think they're gonna call today? So it's gonna take a little while for him to either just forget about Thoothless and just get more attached. And then, oh my gosh, the Beardy that we kept, I originally wanted to name him Philip after our cockatiel that was with us for 21 years, and then he finally passed away of old age. 21 cockatiel years equals 89 human years, so he lived his long life. And I wanted to name him Philip, and he was like, no. And right now he's really into Super Mario Kart 8. And there's one character in there called Shy Guy. It's this little dwarf that has a white... He looks like Jason Voorhees, but he's like a midget with a white mask on. His name's Shy Guy. So he was like, let's name him Shy Guy. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so yesterday when we were coming home, I was like, in the meantime, do you wanna rename Shy Guy Thoothless so you can call him Toothless? And he was like, yes. But I was, to be honest with you, I've never seen How to Train Your Dragon. I've never seen that movie. I don't really care to. And I was just, that name Toothless to me is just so So I was like, what about, let's change his name. Let's give him another brand new name, okay? And I was like, why don't we give him a Bible name? And my nephew was like, Jesus, because when he hears Bible, immediately he thinks of Jesus. Jesus is from the Bible. So I was like, well, Jesus is good. I'm like, but let's not name him Jesus, because I don't want to name a bearded dragon after our Lord and Savior. So I was like, let's not do that. Let's try another name. And I really wanted to do Malachi. For some reason, that name just... I was watching a YouTube video, and this guy named his dragon Malachi. And I was like, I like that name for a bearded dragon, Malachi. Long story short, he was like, no, I don't like Malachi. It's too long of a name. And he's like, I have to be able to spell it. So we ended up, I was giving him different names. And then he didn't like any of the names. We almost ended up with Moses, but he didn't like Moses. So in the end, I was like, well, my brother, my 27-year-old brother that passed away at the age of 27, I was like, well, let's name him Milton. And he was like, okay, Milton. So now his name is Milton, and it's gonna stay that way. I am not gonna change that Beardy's name again. So his name is Milton now. Thank goodness it's not Shy Guy anymore. It's 9:15. I felt bad that I didn't come to work yesterday, but a bunch of things came up, so I wasn't able to. So I'm here early today. I know that they're here already, so I'm gonna go in and get ready for work. And I brought my new lunch bag, which actually looks like a purse, but I don't care because it's a lunch bag and it's awesome. And yeah, better get to work. Alrighty then, talk to y'all later. Bye bye.